All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Anuja Kumar and with me is Saira Mujtaba. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate construction work of Agra Metro project in Uttar Pradesh today. Kolkata Metro to run 204 trains daily from today. Also extends timing of services. Polling underway for fourth phase of DDC elections in Jammu and Kashmir. Voting begins for first phase of Bodoland Territorial Council polls in Assam. Government decides to set up Export Promotion Council for Ayush products. And in cricket, India beat Australia by 6 wickets in second T20 to clinch the 3-match series 2-0. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now, the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the construction work of Agra Metro project at 12 noon today through video conferencing. The project comprises 2 corridors with a total length of 29.4 kilometers and connects major tourist attractions like Taj Mahal, Agra Fort and Sikandra with railway stations and bus stands. The project will be completed in 5 years with an estimated cost of over 8,379 crore rupees. It will provide an environment-friendly mass rapid transit system to Agra. Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and other dignitaries will also attend the event that will be held at 15 Battalion PAC Parade Ground in Agra. More from our Lucknow correspondent.
Managing Director of UP Metro Rail Corporation Kumar Keshav told AIR that it will take around 3 years for the first metro train to run on the priority section between Taj Mahal to Jammu Masjid. He said that it will also help in decreasing the pollution level of the city.
मेट्रो जो है इतनी वेल कनेक्टेड इन दोनों रूट से होने जा रही है कि लोगों को बहुत सुविधाजनक लीस्ट पॉसिबल टाइम में वो अपने स्पॉट पे पहुंचेंगे और वो एक ग्रीन प्रोजेक्ट है बिकॉज ग्रीन इन द सेंस कि इसमें कोई स्मोक नहीं होता क्योंकि ट्रेन पूरी इलेक्ट्रिफाइड है प्लस एक ट्रेन में अगर मैं 250 पैसेंजर भी मान लूं तो 750 पैसेंजर 3 कार की ट्रेन में जाएंगे और जो हम प्लान कर रहे हैं कि शुरू में हर 5.5 मिनट पे 750 लोग जा सकते कम से कम 17 से 18 बसेस के बराबर है.
The Prime Minister had inaugurated the Agra Metro project on 8th March last year. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In order to enhance passenger convenience for the people of Kolkata Metro has started running additional services and extended timings of its services from today. Kolkata Metro will run 204 daily services instead of 190 from Monday to Saturday. In a tweet, Minister of Railways Piyush Goyal commended Kolkata Metro for extending its services. According to Railway Ministry, the first service will start from both ends, from Damdam and Kavi Subhash at 7 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. and from Noapada at 9 past 7 a.m. instead of 9 past 8 a.m. The last service will leave Kavi Subhash and Damdam at 9:30 p.m. instead of 9 p.m. and from Noapada at 9:25 p.m. instead of 8:55 p.m. Services will be available every 7 minutes during morning and evening peak hours. The ministry said for senior citizens, ladies and children below 15 years, e-pass will not be required throughout the day. For all other passengers, e-passes will not be required in between 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. in the morning and 8 p.m. onwards in the evening. No tokens will be issued and only smart cards shall be used.
In the ongoing Kharif marketing season, the government continues to procure Kharif crops at its minimum support price from farmers as per its existing MSP schemes. About 32.92 lakh paddy farmers have benefited from Kharif marketing season procurement operations with MSP value of over 63,563 crore rupees. The Agriculture Ministry said paddy procurement for the current Kharif season has progressed smoothly in Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Telangana, Uttarakhand, Tamil Nadu, Chandigarh, Jammu and Kashmir, Kerala, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and Bihar. It said over 336 lakh metric tons of paddy have been procured against last year's corresponding purchase of around 280 lakh metric tons. This shows an increase of 20.27% over last year. Out of the total purchase of over 336 lakh metric tons, Punjab alone has purchased 202.77 lakh metric tons till the close of procurement season in the state on the 30th of last month. It is 60.23% of total procurement in the country. The ministry said approval was accorded for procurement of 45.24 lakh metric tons of pulses and oilseeds of Kharif marketing season 2020 for the states of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Telangana, Gujarat, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh under Price Support Scheme. Farmers have welcomed the implementation of new farm bills as it has resulted in raising their income and liberating them from the clutches of middlemen. Govind Singh Thakur, a farmer, has said that the new farm law has helped him sell his produce to private companies which gave better price.
मेरा नाम गोविंद सिंह ठाकुर है। मैं बमौरी डेंगवा ग्राम पंचायत का रहने वाला हूँ। एक छोटा किसान हूँ। इससे मोदी जी ने जो प्रावधान निकाला है, इससे ये फायदा है कि हम अपना जहाँ हमारा मन करेगा वहाँ बेच सकते हैं। जैसे यहाँ पे मंडी पे अभी बहुत ज्यादा आवक आ जाती है तो अपने मन का रेट फिक्स करने लगते हैं यहाँ के जो व्यापारी रहते हैं। तो इससे ये होगा जहाँ में हम फसल का उचित दाम मिलेगा हम वहाँ आसानी से इसको बेच सकते हैं। इसमें बहुत से प्रावधान है जो किसानों के लिए बहुत हितकारी है, इसलिए सबको पहले अच्छे समझे फिर इसका विरोध करें। ऐसा नहीं कि किसी के बहकावे में आए।
Another farmer, Sankar Lal Nagar, has said that farmers have become more independent now.
शंकर लाल नागर, ग्राम पानिया, तहसील नरसिंहगढ़, जिला राजगढ़, मध्य प्रदेश। जो सुधार हुआ है ना, ये बहुत ही बढ़िया है, किसानों के लिए दिया है। इससे क्या है कि जो किसान पहले स्वतंत्र नहीं था इतना, अब स्वतंत्र हो गया। वो अपना माल कहीं भी बेच सकता है। अब क्या है, किसानों को अपने आईटी चौपाल द्वारा एक दिन पहले भाव मालूम पड़ जाता है, फिर वो चला जाता है आईटीसी चौपाल, फिर वहाँ अपना पूरा देके और पैसे नगद लेके और कम समय में घर आ जाता है।
Inter-Ministerial Central Team led by Union Home Ministry Joint Secretary Ashutosh Agnihotri will visit Cyclone Nivar-affected areas of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry for the second day today. A report from our Chennai correspondent.
The central team members representing 8 key departments are assessing the damages caused by the cyclone Nivar that hit the shores late November. The team members are branched out into 2 to cover as much of the affected places as possible to gather first-hand information on the damages. Yesterday, the first group of the team visited Chennai and Chengalpattu districts, while the other inspected the neighboring Tiruvallur district. Today, the team members are scheduled to visit Kanchipuram, Vellore and Tirupattur on the one hand, and Puducherry, Kadalur and Viluppuram on the other. They will gather together again in Chennai tomorrow and discuss about the situation with the state government officials before winding up their tour. Their report is set to form the basis for the compensation package the centre is expected to announce to help the state. Jai Singh, AER News, Chennai.
Polling is underway for the 4th phase of District Development Council DDC elections in Jammu and Kashmir. Voting, which began at 7 a.m., will end at 2 p.m. Polling is taking place for 34 constituencies, 17 each in Kashmir and Jammu divisions, while 138 candidates, including 48 women, are in the fray in Kashmir division. 111 contestants, including 34 women, are in the fray in Jammu division. By-polls to 50 vacant seats of Sarpanch and 216 Panch are also underway in the Union Territory. In view of COVID-19 pandemic, adequate arrangements have been put in place to ensure safety of the polling personnel as well as voters. Special polling stations have been set up at Jammu and Udhampur to facilitate voting by Kashmiri migrants. More from our Srinagar correspondent.
Polling commenced at 7 a.m. amid severe cold. All arrangements are in place for smooth and peaceful polling, and it is progressing in an orderly manner. 249 candidates are in play, and a total of 7,17,322 voters are going to decide their fate. In all, 1,910 polling stations have been set up for today's polling, of which 1,129 are in Kashmir division and 781 are in Jammu division. In earlier 3 phases of this 8-phased electoral process, over 50% polling has been recorded in 119 DDC constituencies. The process so far has been completely peaceful. The counting of the votes will be taken on 22nd of December and results will be known on that day. Mushtaq Ahmed Antre, AIR News.
In Assam, polling for the first phase of Bodoland Territorial Council (BTC) will be held today. The voting will begin at 7:30 a.m. The first phase of polls will cover 21 seats of Udalguri and Baksa districts. Our Guwahati correspondent has filed this report.
Nearly 14 lakh voters will decide the political fate of 130 candidates in the first phase in BTC polls. Bodoland People's Front, BJP, UPPL, Congress and AIUDF and the independent candidates are in the fray. While the BJP is fighting against its alliance, Bodoland People's Front, Congress and AIUDF are in alliance in this election. Adequate security arrangements have been put in place to ensure peaceful polling. Thermal screening of voters are being conducted at polling stations. All the polling booths have been sanitized by the administration. The second phase of polling will be held on 10th of this month in 19 seats. Counting of votes will take place on 12th of this month. Manas Pratim Sharma, AIR News, Guwahati.
Commerce, Industry and Ayush ministries have decided to work together to set up an export promotion council to boost Ayush exports. This decision was taken at a review meeting of Ayush Trade and Industry by Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal and Ayush Minister Shripad Nayak. It was also decided that the entire Ayush sector will work together to achieve price and quality competitiveness to boost exports. The review meeting was held through video conference. It was attended by nearly 50 industry and trade leaders from the Ayush sector. More than 2,000 stakeholders of the Ayush sector also attended the e-event through live streaming on virtual platforms. The Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI, has filed a case against Unitech Limited former Managing Director Sanjay Chandra, his father Ramesh Chandra and elder brother Ajay Chandra for allegedly cheating Canara Bank of 198 crore rupees. Sanjay Chandra was released from Tihar jail after 43 months on Friday evening after a trial court in Delhi granted him interim relief for 4 weeks considering his aggrieved medical condition. He was arrested in April 2017 by Delhi Police's Economic Offences Wing (EOW) for allegedly cheating home buyers who had invested in company projects. Unitech Limited, which used to be a construction giant before the company was embroiled in 2G spectrum scam, is facing multiple investigations by various agencies, including CBI, ED and the Delhi Police. You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate construction work of Agra Metro project in Uttar Pradesh today. Kolkata Metro to run 204 trains daily from today also extends timing of services. Polling underway for fourth phase of DDC elections in Jammu and Kashmir. Voting begins for first phase of Bodoland Territorial Council polls in Assam. Government decides to set up Export Promotion Council for Ayush products. And in cricket, India beat Australia by 6 wickets in second T20 to clinch the 3-match series 2-0. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
India has crossed yet another significant milestone in its fight against COVID as the recovery rate has improved to 94.37%. The number of daily recoveries outnumbered the new daily cases for the 9th consecutive day yesterday. The total recovered cases in the country stands at around 22 times the number of active cases, with cumulative recovery of over 91 lakh people so far. The new daily positive cases continue to remain below 50,000 mark for nearly about a month now. In the last 24 hours, nearly 36,000 new cases were reported, while nearly 42,000 people recovered in the same time span. The active caseload of the country has witnessed further drop and continues to remain below 4.2%. The News Services Division brings glimpses of the year that was in our special series Year Ender 2020. COVID-19 pandemic has been the biggest story of the year, and India has seen us fight back against the disease under the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Speaking on the measures taken by the government, Corona Task Force Head and Niti Aayog member Professor Wickets said all measures were scientifically driven.
India imposed very critical and effective restrictions on the travel, and this helped us in containing the disease in a very localized manner. We, through lockdown, ensured that we deviated from that devastating path. We brought the intensity of the virus spread phenomenally low. We saved lives as a nation, and because we got time to prepare our health system, our facilities, our testing, our technologies, and we have been able to manage the pandemic effectively, those critical decisions that were taken were very effective. They were science-driven, evidence-driven.
A group of ministers closely and regularly monitored the coronavirus cases. The Home Ministry asked the states and union territories to strictly enforce containment measures and allow only essential activities in the containment zones.
Intensive house-to-house surveillance and testings were carried out as per protocol. Centre also asked states and union territories to take all necessary measures to promote COVID-19 appropriate behavior of face masks, hand hygiene and social distancing. In line with the union government, many state governments have also issued specific circular for employees. Attendance in offices were reduced except the emergency services. To avoid the situation of community transmission, All India Institute of Medical Sciences Delhi, Indian Council of Medical Research ICMR, National Institute of Virology Pune, all states and union territory governments work together. Ministry of Road Transport and Highways advised states and union territories to take all steps for sanitization of public transport vehicles and terminals. This ensured disinfection and sanitization of seats, handles and bars of all public road carriers at the bus terminals. All educational institutions, stadiums and sports clubs, restaurants, pubs were closed. All state governments set a cap on number of guests allowed to attend a wedding function and also cremation. While the country is marching towards normalcy, the steps taken by the government worked as a catalyst to prevent the spread of the virus. Sobhagyakar, Air News, Delhi.
Over 11 lakh COVID samples were tested in the country in the last 24 hours. With this, the cumulative testing figure has reached around 14 crore 70 lakhs. The central government and ICMR have scaled up testing infrastructure in a calibrated manner. India's testing capacity has touched 15 lakh per day, ensuring easily accessible COVID-19 tests for all. As many as 2,706 new positive cases of COVID-19 were reported in Delhi, taking the total tally to 5,92,250. According to the Health Bulletin, 4,622 people recovered yesterday, and the total number of recoveries now stand at 5,57,914. With 69 new deaths reported in the city, the death toll now stands at 9,643. Presently, the total number of active cases in the national capital is 24,693, while the death rate is 2.03%.
In Bihar, 674 cold chain points are ready across the state for coronavirus vaccination. Health Minister Mangal Pandey said these can store 1.37 crore vial at a time, and we have to enhance their capacity by an additional 1 crore so that routine immunization does not get hampered. Mr. Pandey said there are nearly 3.52 lakh government health workers, including AMNs, who will do the vaccination. Apart from them, nearly 4,000 private institutes have also been identified whose workers will be added to the list. Meanwhile, COVID-19 recovery rate has improved to 97.20%. This is 2.83% more than the national average. In Gujarat, more than 2 lakh COVID-19 patients have recovered till now. Recovery rate has improved to 91.42%. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
The number of total cases of COVID-19 detected so far in Gujarat has reached up to 2,18,788. Out of these, 2,12,000 patients have been recovered. More than 82,41,000 tests have been carried out till date. Maximum 306 new cases reported from Ahmedabad, while Surat recorded 235 new cases. At present, total active cases in the state are 14,695, out of which 87 patients are on ventilator. 17 patients died yesterday. Yogesh Pandya, AR News, Ahmedabad.
In Tamil Nadu, colleges reopened today for the final year undergraduate classes. However, attendance has been made optional for students as online classes would also continue simultaneously. The postgraduate classes began on 2nd of December, though most students stayed away. Following the letter from the Intelligence Department, the Mumbai Police issued an order to ban drones, paragliders, remote-controlled micro-light aircraft, aerial missiles and other equipment. The order further stated that it is necessary that certain restrictions should be put on the activities of such elements across the Brihan Mumbai Police Commissionerate to prevent possible sabotage through such flying objects in order to monitor the situation closely. The order by Mumbai Police Deputy Commissioner, Operations and Executive Magistrate S. Chaitanya stated that action will be taken against violators who do not abide by the rules under Section 188 of the 1960 Act.
Bangladesh signed its first Preferential Trade Agreement, PTA, with Bhutan, allowing duty-free access to a range of goods between the two countries. This is the first PTA Bangladesh has signed with any country in the world. The agreement was signed today between Bangladesh Commerce Minister Tipu Munshi and Bhutan's Economic Affairs Minister Lyompo Loknath Sharma in Dhaka. The agreement was signed on the occasion marking the 50 years of diplomatic ties between the two countries. In 1971, Bhutan was the first country in the world, followed by India as the second to recognize Bangladesh as an independent country. Under the PTA, 100 Bangladeshi products will get duty-free access to Bhutan. At the same time, 34 items from Bhutan will get duty-free access into Bangladesh. The U.S. Special Representative for Afghanistan Reconciliation, Zalmay Khalilzad, held a meeting with Taliban's deputy leader Mullah Baradar and chief negotiator Abdul Hakim on Saturday. As per reports, they discussed the future U.S.-Taliban peace process and release of the remaining prisoners. Notably, the first meeting of the Leadership Committee of the Afghanistan High Council for National Reconciliation was held in Qatar on Saturday. The United States has welcomed the formation and the first Leadership Committee meeting of the Afghanistan High Council for National Reconciliation. Reacting to the meeting, Zalmay Khalilzad tweeted that this committee will be an authoritative body for the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan as it negotiates the terms of a peace agreement, power sharing, and a permanent and comprehensive ceasefire with the Taliban. He added that the Islamic Republic and Taliban teams are now in the next phase of negotiations, having started with their first meeting on the agenda in Doha.
Back home, Karnataka Assembly Speaker Vishweshwar Hegde Khageri reviewed preparations ahead of the winter session of the state legislature beginning today. The session, to be held till 15th of December, will follow all COVID-19 protocols. There will be a question hour and 10 bills are ready to be tabled in the House. The Speaker has informed that on the last 2 days of the session, the House will have a debate on One Nation, One Election issue. The Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB, has raised concern on pollution and frothing in River Yamuna. The CPCB has asked Delhi and other states for effective sewage treatment. It has also sought action, taken report from all concerned agencies by 15th of this month. In the past, CPCB observed froth formation and increase in ammonia levels in River Yamuna. It issued directions to Delhi Jal Board to submit time-bound action plan to ensure compliance to norms by sewage treatment plants. The Delhi Pollution Control Committee has been directed to take action against non-complying common effluent treatment plants and industrial units. Directions have also been issued to State Pollution Control Boards of Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. India defeated Australia by 6 wickets in the second T20 match at Sydney Cricket Ground last evening. With this win, India has sealed the 3-match series to 0. India won the opening 2020 international on Friday in Canberra by 11 runs. The final match will be played on 9th of December. Chasing a target of 195, India finished the game with 2 balls remaining, losing 4 wickets in the process. Hardik Pandya was adjudged man of the match for his blistering 42-run knock off just 22 balls. He remained not out. Opener Shikhar Dhawan top scored for the team with 52 runs. Earlier, batting first, Australia scored 194 in the stipulated 20 overs, losing 5 wickets. Skipper MS Wade top scored for the team with 58 runs off 32 balls. For India, T. Natarajan took 2 wickets, while Shardul Thakur and Yuzvendra Chahal took 1 wicket each.
Thick smog has engulfed national capital Delhi and nearby areas this morning. According to Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB, the Air Quality Index AQI in the city was recorded 394 at 7 in the morning, which falls in the very poor category. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital will witness fog and mist in the morning and mainly clear sky later. The minimum temperature was 14 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 25 degrees Celsius. In Mumbai, sky will be partly cloudy. The minimum temperature in the metropolis was 22 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 34 degrees Celsius. Chennai will have generally clear sky. The temperature will hover between 29 and 25 degrees. Kolkata is also expected to have partly cloudy sky with temperature varying between 20 and 30 degrees Celsius. On to the north, in Srinagar, generally cloudy sky is expected today. The minimum temperature was 4 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 10 degrees. In Jammu, the lower level of temperature was 15 degrees Celsius while the upper level will be around 25 degrees. The city may witness mostly cloudy sky today. In Leh, sky will be generally cloudy. The minimum temperature was -2 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around -11. Gilgit will also experience mostly cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between 2 and 11 degrees Celsius. In Dehradun, the temperature will hover between 13 and 26 degrees Celsius. The city will have mainly clear sky. Mostly cloudy sky is expected in Muzaffarabad. The temperature will hover between 10 and 17 degrees Celsius. Chandigarh will also have mostly clear sky. Minimum temperature was recorded at 13 degrees, while the maximum is expected to be 28 degrees Celsius.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. A front page headline in the Economic Times writes, World rolls up sleeves to take a shot as UK kicks off inoculation on Tuesday for biggest immunization program in history, followed by US on Friday. While the Pioneer writes, Pfizer seeks emergency use note from India for its COVID vaccine, becoming the first company to seek the emergency use approval of its COVID-19 candidate after getting clearance in UK and Bahrain. The company says vaccine will be supplied only through government contracts. After Pfizer, Pune lab seeks note for emergency use of its Oxford vaccine, adds the Indian Express. Airport infra may be used for cold storage, reports Hindustan Times, as the centre has started preparing for a cold storage chain for the COVID-19 vaccine. After a 3-week plateau, COVID cases show a 16% decline, notes the Times of India. The paper adds, cases now at nearly a third of peak level. And finally, in a positive story, the Hindu observes, Meghalaya village turns an oasis in coal mine desert, becoming a clean green dot after NGT ban on rat hole mining there.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate construction work of Agra Metro project in Uttar Pradesh today. Kolkata Metro to run 204 trains daily from today also extends timing of services. Polling underway for 4th phase of DDC elections in Jammu and Kashmir. Voting begins for first phase of Bodoland Territorial Council polls in Assam. Government decides to set up Export Promotion Council for Ayush products. And in cricket, India beat Australia by 6 wickets in second T20 to clinch the 3-match series 2-0. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.